Most people live their entire lives waiting for a breakthrough, some dramatic moment of clarity or success that will change everything. But life rarely offers such grand gestures. Greatness is built piece by piece through persistence and discipline. Every day you fail to improve, you are choosing stagnation. You are choosing mediocrity. In part 1, we uncovered the first 3 destructive habits that keep you trapped. Anger controls your actions. How anger seizes your mind and makes you act against your own interests. You mistake anger for strength, confusing aggression with power when true strength lies in control. You hold on to anger too long, allowing it to poison your thoughts and derail your progress. But that was only the beginning. The truth is, there are 4 more destructive habits that can sabotage your potential. And if you don't confront them, you will continue to fall short of who you could become. The Stoics understood this struggle with unwavering clarity. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." It's a call to action. Not tomorrow, not when you feel like it. Now. Improvement is not something you wait for, it's something you pursue relentlessly. The power of 1% improvement every day is not just an idea, it's a weapon. But most people lack the patience to wield it. They quit too early. They underestimate the strength of small, consistent progress. And by doing so, they choose mediocrity over mastery. Now you are standing at a crossroads. You've completed part 1, but there's more ground to cover. In this video part 2, we will break down the final 4 destructive habits that hold you back and how to overcome them. You let others provoke your anger. Anger wrecks your health. You expect others to change. Anger blinds your reason. These principles are not just theories, they are practical tools for transformation. They will teach you to master your emotions, sharpen your mind, and build a life of purpose and resilience. If you're ready to continue your journey to greatness, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Victory Stoic. Comment below with your war cry, 1% every day, or share your progress and victories so far. Part 2 is here, the final 4 lessons. This is where the real transformation begins. Let's get to work. Number 4, measure your growth. Track every step, no matter how small. Most people fail to reach their goals not because they lack ambition or talent, but because they have no way of measuring their progress. They wander aimlessly, working hard without ever knowing if their efforts are bringing them closer to success. It's like sailing across the ocean without a compass. No direction, no landmarks, no certainty that you are moving forward at all. The Stoics understood the power of tracking progress. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look well into yourself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if you will always look." He wasn't talking about vague reflection or idle introspection. He was advocating for a deliberate examination of one's actions, an honest accounting of what has been achieved and what remains undone. To measure your growth is to give your efforts shape, structure, and meaning. Without tracking, your progress becomes invisible. Your victories fade into nothingness, and your motivation dwindles. But when you record each small step, each minor achievement, you create a map of your journey, a map that shows how far you have come and how much further you can go. Consider Laura, a 36-year-old teacher from Austin. For years, she had struggled with her health. She would start a new diet or exercise routine with enthusiasm, but her motivation would inevitably fade. The problem wasn't her effort. It was her inability to see the results. She was so focused on the end goal that she never acknowledged the progress happening along the way. One day, feeling frustrated by yet another failed attempt, she decided to try something different. She bought a simple journal and committed to writing down every tiny step she made toward her health goals. If she exercised for just 10 minutes, she wrote it down. If she drank enough water for the day, she wrote it down. If she resisted the temptation to eat junk food, she wrote it down. At first, the entries seemed trivial, just a list of minor accomplishments that barely felt worth recording. But something incredible began to happen. As the pages of her journal filled up, Laura could finally see her progress in concrete terms. The proof was right there, ink on paper, undeniable and real. The act of recording her growth gave her motivation. It was no longer a vague feeling of improvement, but a visible, tangible reality. She rewarded herself with small treats when she hit certain milestones, a new book, a weekend getaway. a special dinner with her husband. And every time she rewarded herself, she documented that too, creating a cycle of motivation and achievement. But it wasn't just about tracking progress for her own satisfaction. Laura shared her journey with her best friend, Emily. They encouraged each other, celebrated each other's successes, and pushed each other through setbacks. Having someone to share her growth with made the journey feel less lonely and infinitely more rewarding. Modern psychology supports what the Stoics understood instinctively. The concept of positive reinforcement, rewarding desired behaviors to increase their frequency, is a proven strategy for building habits and achieving goals. According to research, people who track their progress and reward themselves along the way are significantly more likely to achieve their objectives than those who simply hope for success. Laura's approach mirrors another psychological principle known as self-monitoring. This technique involves systematically recording one's own behaviors to identify patterns, strengths, and weaknesses. When done consistently, it provides a clear roadmap for improvement. But tracking your progress is not just about documenting success. It's about identifying weaknesses and learning from them. Laura's journal didn't just record her achievements, it also recorded her setbacks. Days when she skipped workouts, nights when she indulged in unhealthy food, moments when her motivation faltered. But by acknowledging those failures, she was able to learn from them. Instead of beating herself up, she treated each setback as a lesson. Over time, her journal became more than a record of progress. It became a guide, a source of motivation, and a testament to her resilience. Instead of feeling lost in a sea of effort, she had a clear path forward, and with each entry, her confidence grew. But Laura's greatest breakthrough came when she decided to share her progress with her family. She showed them her journal, her successes, her failures, her goals, and their support made all the difference. They encouraged her, celebrated her milestones, and kept her accountable. The Stoics believed that true strength comes from within, but they also understood the value of trusted allies. Epictetus taught, "We are not disturbed by things, but by the views which we take of them." Sharing your progress with those you trust can reshape your own perspective, transforming struggles into victories and setbacks into valuable lessons. Progress, real progress, is never an accident. It is the result of consistent, deliberate effort, and the only way to ensure that effort is effective is to measure it. Practical strategies for measuring your growth. Keep a daily journal where you record every step, no matter how small. Break down large goals into manageable daily targets and document your progress. Set clear milestones and reward yourself when you reach them. Make the rewards meaningful, but not so extravagant that they become distractions. Share your journey with someone you trust. Whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a loved one, having someone to celebrate your progress and hold you accountable will amplify your results. Review your progress regularly. Don't just document it, analyze it. Identify patterns, strengths, and weaknesses. Adjust your approach as needed. Focus on the journey, not just the destination. Success is not a single event. It is the accumulation of small victories, repeated day after day. Laura's transformation was not a miracle. It was the result of disciplined, deliberate effort. By measuring her progress, she turned her goals from vague aspirations into concrete achievements. Her journal became a testament to her growth, a tool for self-mastery, and a reminder that every small step matters. What you track, you improve. And what you improve, you master. Your progress may be slow, your victories may be small, but if you measure them, you will realize that you are always moving forward. And that is the only thing that matters. Number 5. Discipline over motivation, acting when the fire burns low. Motivation is fickle. It comes and goes like the changing of seasons, strong and radiant one day, weak and fading the next. Those who rely solely on motivation are doomed to inconsistency. They act when they feel inspired, but collapse when that inspiration runs dry. The Stoics knew that true progress is built on discipline, not motivation. Discipline is the fortress that endures, even when the fires of motivation have long since burned out. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most disciplined men, wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of? If I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do. He did not wait for the desire to act. He acted because it was his duty, because it was his nature. Consider Brian, a 31-year-old writer from New York. He dreamed of finishing a novel that had lived in his mind for years. But every time he sat down to write, he waited for inspiration to strike. Some days it came, and he wrote furiously for hours. But most days, the motivation was absent. The result? Weeks of inactivity. Frustrated by his own inconsistency, Brian decided to approach writing like a Stoic. He committed to writing for 1 hour every single morning. Regardless of whether he felt inspired or not, some days the words flowed effortlessly. Other days he produced nothing but garbage, but he kept writing. The breakthrough came not from sudden inspiration, but from sheer persistence. Through discipline, he created momentum, and through momentum, he found progress. His novel took shape, not through bursts of passion, but through the relentless application of effort. Discipline is the ability to act regardless of emotional state. It is doing the work when you are tired, uninspired, or overwhelmed. The Stoics believe that to master oneself, one must first master the will. Motivation is a luxury. Discipline is a necessity. Practical strategies for building discipline. Set a daily routine and follow it without exception. Consistency is the key. When you feel unmotivated, act anyway. Treat your duties as a matter of principle, not passion. Track your discipline. Write down each day's effort, whether it felt successful or not. What matters is that you showed up. Reward discipline, not motivation. Acknowledge the effort you put in, not just the results you achieve. Motivation is nothing more than a spark, but discipline is the flame that endures. Build it, nurture it, and it will carry you through the darkest days. Number 6, embrace discomfort. Push beyond your limits every day. Comfort is a double-edged sword. It soothes you, shelters you, makes life feel easy, but it also weakens you, dulls your edge, lulls you into mediocrity. The Stoics understood that true growth comes not from embracing comfort, but from embracing discomfort. To push beyond your limits every day is to actively seek out the challenges most people avoid. Epictetus wrote, "Difficulties show men what they are." He believed that hardship reveals your true nature. Without discomfort, you remain stagnant, trapped in a prison of your own making. The Stoic warrior does not shy away from struggle. He welcomes it. Because struggle is the forge that sharpens the mind, strengthens the body, and fortifies the spirit. Consider Jack, a 40-year-old businessman from Los Angeles. He had built a successful company, but over the years he had grown soft. Comfort became his prison. His routine was predictable, safe, and entirely devoid of challenge. He found himself feeling bored, restless, even depressed. Despite his success, he felt empty. Seeking change, Jack decided to adopt a simple but brutal principle. Every day, he would do something that made him uncomfortable. It started with small acts, taking cold showers, waking up at 5 a.m., pushing himself to run when his body screamed for rest. As time went on, the challenges grew. Public speaking, learning new skills, facing personal fears. The transformation was undeniable. Jack discovered that discomfort was not his enemy, it was his greatest teacher. By forcing himself to face discomfort daily, he built resilience, sharpened his focus, and strengthened his discipline. He found himself growing in ways he hadn't imagined. Not just professionally, but personally. Modern psychology calls this principle deliberate practice, the act of continually pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone to improve performance. Studies have shown that the most successful individuals in any field, sports, business, art, are those who regularly engage in tasks that challenge their limits. Jack didn't just improve his business, he improved himself. By embracing discomfort, he became stronger, wiser, and more resilient. His achievements were no longer the result of luck or talent, but of intentional struggle. The Stoic conqueror understands that comfort is the enemy of progress. To grow, you must constantly push yourself into the unknown, the difficult, the painful. The moment you stop challenging yourself is the moment you begin to decay. Practical strategies for embracing discomfort. Daily challenge. Make it a habit to do one uncomfortable thing each day. This could be physical, a hard workout, mental, learning a new skill, or emotional, having a difficult conversation. Track your growth. Record your daily challenges and reflect on how they make you stronger. Expand your comfort zone. Once a challenge becomes easy, raise the bar. Never allow yourself to grow complacent. Seek failure. Failure is a sign that you are pushing your limits. Welcome it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Jack discovered that discomfort was not something to be feared, but something to be pursued. Every day he pushed himself beyond his limits. His resilience grew stronger, his confidence deeper. The comfort he once craved became meaningless. What mattered was growth, and growth only comes from embracing the struggle. Number 7. Acting amidst adversity. Proving your strength when it matters most. Adversity is inevitable. No matter how skilled, disciplined, or prepared you are, the world will throw obstacles in your path. The Stoics understood that true strength is not shown when conditions are ideal, but when everything is falling apart. It is in chaos that character is forged. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." These words are more than mere wisdom. They are a blueprint for facing adversity with courage. When you encounter resistance, your response defines you. Will you collapse under pressure or rise to meet the challenge head-on? Consider Michael, a 33-year-old entrepreneur from San Francisco. His tech startup was finally gaining traction after years of struggle. Investors were interested, customers were growing, and his team was motivated. But then disaster struck. A critical error in their software resulted in massive data loss for clients. Lawsuits were threatened, investors backed away, and his team's morale plummeted. The situation was bleak. Michael could have surrendered to panic or blame, but instead he saw the disaster as a test, a proving ground for his own resilience. He gathered his team, acknowledged the mistakes, and created a plan to rebuild from the ground up. Every day was a struggle, but he acted with relentless determination. 6 months later, the company not only recovered, but grew stronger than ever. The crisis had forced them to innovate, to improve their systems, and to build a foundation far sturdier than before. Michael's ability to act amidst adversity became the cornerstone of his success. The Stoics believed that adversity reveals your true power. When the world is against you, that is when you have the greatest opportunity to prove your worth. Strength is not the absence of struggle. It is the ability to thrive within it. Practical strategies for acting amidst adversity. When facing setbacks, focus on what you can control. Accept the rest. Treat every obstacle as a challenge to be overcome, not a punishment to be endured. Remind yourself that adversity is temporary, but the strength gained from it endures. Adversity will come. That is inevitable. But how you respond is what truly matters. Conclusion. Improving yourself by just 1% every day may seem insignificant, almost trivial. But over time, those small efforts compound into something extraordinary. The Stoics understood this well. Their philosophy was never about achieving perfection in a single explosive moment. It was about steady, relentless progress, taking action, refining your thoughts, mastering your emotions, and strengthening your character every single day. Greatness is not built overnight. It is built through the accumulation of countless small victories. And when you embrace the power of consistent improvement, you become unstoppable. Each day you grow stronger, wiser, more resilient. The obstacles that once seemed impossible become mere stepping stones on your journey to mastery. The true Stoic warrior understands that the path to success is not a straight line. It is a winding road filled with setbacks, challenges, and failures. But those who persist, those who improve themselves just a little bit every day, will eventually achieve greatness. If you are ready to become a stronger, more disciplined version of yourself, like, share, and subscribe to Victory Stoic. Comment below with your war cry, 1% every day. Or share your own story of improvement, your struggles, your triumphs. This is the place where ordinary people become unbreakable. Every day is a battle. Every day is an opportunity. And if you seize that opportunity, there is nothing you cannot achieve.